And the Debrinick Channel is back, and today we are talking about the Mississippi River down by New Orleans. And with that, let's get right to it. With the intrusion of saltwater creeping up the Mississippi River from the drought, New Orleans is staring down a potential water crisis. A wedge of saltwater from the Gulf of Mexico is moving up from the Mississippi River and is expected to reach Louisiana City main water supply intake by October 28th, according to the Army Corps of Engineers forecasting. Known as a saltwater intrusion, this type of event occurs naturally when the river flows drops below a certain threshold and has long been a problem for the community near the Gulf, but the region now faces its worst saltwater intrusion in decades, in large part due to record heat and drought, rising sea level, and weakness along the riverbanks. So this is actually a man-made problem. You may be asking yourself, how can this be a man-made problem? Clearly you just said that there was drought and everything else. Yeah, there is drought, but the problem is the Army Corps of Engineers has dug out the Mississippi River so deep that it doesn't have enough flow to keep the water at bay. Right now they're getting in 150,000 CFS when really they need 300,000, so the water's creeping up underneath. And this is what the problem is. People don't understand that. Therefore, they need to come up with another man-made solution to offset this problem, and I have a solution. So this brings me to what needs to happen in New Orleans. It seems like this is the second year in a row they have faced this, and every year it seems like they go by through the skin of their teeth and barely make it. Now, what they could do and what they might consider is putting wickets in along the river bottom. Now you may be asking yourself, what's a wicket? A wicket is a dam that holds back water but can be lowered into the river during certain points of time of the year. Now this would take time, and of course they would not be able to do this right at the moment. However, they could do this. It's just a matter of, will they do this? What they could do is put wickets in, put a lock dam system in place, maybe put in some sort of lock and dam system that could get barges through quicker. This is cutting technology. You would have to basically maybe lift the barge and place it downriver to make it quicker. I'm sure there's plenty of things they could do. You can do anything. Money's no object to the U.S. government as they spend trillions of dollars every year. However, when it comes to stuff like this, people need drinking water. That's just as simple as that, and they really don't have any answers. We're at the mercy of Mother Nature. Another thing that could be done is you could put a big desalination plant at the Mississippi River further down the line, closer to mile marker number 1, where you could just basically take that more brackish water, so you wouldn't have to desalinate it near as much as you would if you were to do it at the Gulf of Mexico, being it's brackish water, half salt water, half regular water, and get the majority of the water from the top of the river, then you would be doing a lot better. Unfortunately, desalination systems are really expensive and could take a ton of energy to use, so that's problematic as well. So there's really no easy solution for this. So if we were to do this, we could make it happen. These wickets could potentially change everything, causing them to never face this issue again, ever. And we're going to roll out to windy.com and see if there's any help, and you can clearly see that there's not really much help. They're saying it's going to take at least 8 to 10 inches of rain up north to take care of it. Well, closest thing you got is way up north. Up here, you're talking about 4 inches, and then over here in Illinois, you're talking about almost 4 inches there. This is going to take 45 days to reach all the way down here, and then they do have some rain coming here, but it's very little, 2.91. It's not going to give you the 9 to 10 inches that you need to cause this river to start flowing the other way. So what happens is normally the water rushes out into the Gulf, but with the intrusion's coming up from the bottom. The salt water is heavier than the fresh water, so the salt water is coming up underneath, and the current generally keeps it out here, but now that it's not, as we scoot in, you could see that it's getting closer to New Orleans daily. Now they have been bringing in water from upstream and releasing it. They're bringing barges down with full of water, and then they release it when it gets close, keep it at bay, but they're really going to need much, and New Orleans is in a major drought, so it's definitely not helping that all the way from Mississippi down to Greenville and Natchez, they're not getting no rains. We need to do something for the long term. They need to start rethinking things, maybe consider putting Widgets in. That would be a big deal for all the barges, but if you could figure out a way to move these barges quickly, then you could definitely make it happen. During certain periods, you have to do something. They're going to have to figure something else out. They really can't build a lake down here. It's too low. There's no hills or anything along those lines as the river really slows down. So that could be a problem. The other problem is with these Widgets is they could potentially get silted in because the water really starts to slow through here as well. The current slows down as up here moves a lot faster. So if you put the Widgets in, the people that live beyond the Widgets, they're going to have salt water while these Widgets are up. So a solution to that would be you would have to put a pipeline in to the north of the Widgets and pump that water down to these little communities beyond New Orleans like Belle Chase. You would have to send it to all these little communities down here that rely on the water from the Mississippi River along the way there. So there's a bunch of them, and in order to do that, you would have to do what you had to do. Now, like I said, it would be an expensive thing, but with more droughts more frequently, like this is the second year in a row, it might not be a bad idea to have that in place whenever this happens. But you would also have to figure out a way to maneuver these vessels in and out that come through New Orleans on a consistent basis. Like maybe put it at Belle Chase there and put in a Widget system beyond that. And then you would, from Belle Chase, you would have to pump water down to these little towns down here. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you on the next one. Hope everybody's having a good day. We will see you on the next one. God bless.